Hello, everybody. Ice Cream Economist here. Scoop of the day, inflation and how it affects standard of living and wages and all that other stuff. My wife went and filled up our sweet minivan today and paid $70 to fill it up, and which is a lot. My wife is a nurse, so she gets paid pretty well. And, typically it's about $40 an hour is what she makes. But recently, the hospital has been trying to implement this policy where they don't want to hire travel nurses, so they're trying to pay their regular nurses more wages. They're trying to increase the wages for specific shifts. It's not all the time; it's just a specific shift type of thing. But what it equates to is that my wife is she makes about $70 an hour, which for the hospital, that's a benefit because they're going to pay a travel nurse in excess of $100 an hour. So they're winning in that situation if they can get their current employees to work a little extra because they pay them that money. But so when my wife goes into work, usually nowadays, she makes, on a lot of days, she'll make about $70 an hour. So this keep that in mind as we move forward, because as my wife comes home this morning and she's expressing her frustrations about the increased gas prices or the increase she's paying at the pump, I make this observation and I say to her, I said, look, you used to make $40 an hour and it would cost you $40 to fill up the van. And now you're making $70 an hour, and it costs you $70 to to fill up the van. So technically, your standard of living hasn't changed. It's still taking you an hour's worth of work to fill up the sweet minivan. And of course, so our standard of living in our house hasn't changed. We're just, it's stayed the same. We're just using the same amount to fill up the sweet minivan. But she didn't like that observation very much, because ideally when you get a wage rate or a wage rate increase, you're hoping that your standard of living goes up. But we've been able, with these rising gas prices, we've actually been able to benefit, or we've been able to maintain our standard of living. But my question is always, what about the people who their wages haven't gone up with these rising gas prices? What's happened to them? Because their standard of living has actually gone down. And so when they go to fill up that gas tank, they go up and fill up that gas tank, there's a trade-off there. They have to move on they have to buy something less of something else. Because they've had to fill up that gas tank. So we actually see a decrease in that standard of living. So they might have gotten a raise this year, but with those higher fuel prices, their standard of living could still be going down. So just keep that in mind as you go forward. And then the last thing the final piece I want to make the observation is who's causing the rising prices. That is something that people want to talk about, and where is this coming from? And the key thing is, as you would know if you've known me or anything else, is that, well, it's the government. They're the ones who increased the money supply. They're the ones that increased all the money supply, which has driven up the wages, and now you're seeing higher prices. And they want to they want to blame other people than themselves for this increased fiscal policy spending, this increased money supply. But I found there's been an article in the NBC News just recently about gas stations, and what they're saying is they're saying, look, the price of gas has gone up 20 cents, and we've only raised the price 11 cents. So they're actually taking a price hit, or as their costs have gone up, they haven't been able to pass on those costs. So anyway, hope you have a great day. Please, and I'll link to the article so you can check it out. But hope you have a great day, and thanks for stopping by. Keep on dipping.